Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about the feature bid for new customers only, why this feature is misunderstood, and how you can still profit from it though if you understand how to use this feature properly. I'm going to get into the in and outs of this particular feature, what it's really about, how it actually operates, so you understand why you should be using it in the first place. There's too many videos on YouTube out there that talk about what features do, but not why they do it or how they actually work, so that if you actually are a thinker that thinks outside the box, that wants, higher than average returns, you actually can understand how to apply what it is that the feature ultimately can provide you. So I'm going to go through how it works in detail. But then also, what are your other options where you can actually make even more money than using this feature? And specifically a use case where it would come in handy. Whereas most times, for the most part, you don't actually need this feature. It's not going to serve you. That is, if you want to make the most money possible from Google Ads. Okay? So we'll get into the content. This feature, under the settings part of your Google Ads campaigns, under search, it's going to be there in the search as well as PMAX campaigns that you have. And the feature guides your ad budget to either focus on capturing repurchases exclusively or new customers first, but kind of not only does, where if you set it to go for new customers, it will not exclusively go for new customers, as we have found. Okay? So anyway, that's the general idea as it sounds. Now, how Google knows who are your customers kind of comes down to two things for them to be able to do this. You got customer lists. If you upload your customer lists to Google, they understand when a customer comes through because they already have your customer list. Or they'll do this through your conversion tracking that you have set up to track customers, whether that be, shopping cart, people going through the shopping cart, or if you do offline conversion tracking and track sales that occur after you've developed and generated a lead, and then that customer ended up buying, you passing that back to Google through the offline conversion tracking process. You also obviously will give Google the customer data that who's a customer, who's not, that way. Okay? Now, if you are in to give you an actual use case for this feature to focus on new customers only would come in handy. To give you an explicit example, we had Zumba which is a like an aerobics type class. You probably heard of it before. This is a big brand, and this is a big brand in a smaller niche, okay? If you're in a small niche like this, and you dominate that niche, we're talking about you're owning 50+% of the market, okay? In that type of situation, the new customer bid for new customers only feature can help you out, because most of the people searching for like Zumba, even though that's like a universal term like Kleenex and Google and stuff like that, it'll help you find actual new customers, because if you don't, it'll be mostly new existing customers coming through that just want to get to the website and book another time to actually get another time going, or whatnot there. And so the traffic that goes to your website coming from Google, if it's primarily, in other words, people that aren't going to be new customers, then this feature can help weed out all of those existing customers from eating up your ad budget. That's the specific single situation where optimizing for new customers first this feature of specifically bid only for new customers only will come in handy, and did come in handy in that particular instance. Okay. Otherwise, you want to always lock down your customer purchase anyhow you can. Well, if a customer is coming in that's an existing customer, you actually want to go after them first than a new customer, because they're going to be, you're going to be able to acquire them for cheaper than you are going to be able to acquire a new customer, given that they're going to come to your website and convert into a new customer at a higher rate than a new customer would, because the new customer has less confidence about you than an already existing customer that's coming through Google. So if you can get higher ROI on existing customers that come through Google that search versus new, why would you want to go for new customers and then neglect the existing customers? It doesn't make any sense. The only situation where it would make sense, if you literally cannot get any new customers because your allotted budget's literally being absorbed by all the new existing customers coming through Google, and you're able to get any new customers at all, which long term, if you're trying to build up your business, you need new customers, this feature is the way that you weed them out, so to say, okay? Now, I just got done making a video recently about custom variables and conversion tracking. Because if you're tracking conversions, you're tracking customers that you're getting through your Google Ads account to get results. You want to know a customer that comes through and what they spent. Okay, that goes to greatly help you improve your ads over time and help you scale profitability, the profits from your Google Ads account. That said, there's a difference in value between an existing customer and a new customer. Given, naturally, an existing customer that buys the third time, you shouldn't value them necessarily in terms of their lifetime value, assuming you're in a business where people buy more than once, typically. That customer shouldn't be valued at the same rate as a new customer should be valued. And ultimately, what you can do is divide your total company revenue by total customers you ever had, and understand from that your average revenue you can expect from a customer overall. Okay, and then from there, obviously, and then looking at your cost of delivering your product or service and your general overhead at your company, you can understand what you could pay in terms of marketing costs or advertising costs to acquire a customer and still be profitable. And then it becomes simple. You try to go out and run an ad anywhere you can where a customer does not cost more than that maximum amount that you know you need to be profitable at your company, okay? Which you should be doing. Very few people do this kind of math for themselves up front, and then they don't actually build a scalable account. They say, well, I can afford to spend $300 a month on ads and no more because that's all we could afford. But really, you should be able to spend whatever you damn well can that will generate a customer at a certain cost per customer that's profitable. But because they don't know what that cost per customer is, and they don't track the results to know what they're paying for a customer, they shoot themselves in the foot because they don't even get the main benefit out of running the ads to begin with, which is the money. 99% of the money is in the scaling part, and you want to set yourself up to scale. But getting back on topic here again, so if you can understand what a new customer is worth, and understanding that new customer is worth so much, and understanding that they're worth more than an old customer, or a customer you already had, so to say, what you can do is you can tag using server-side tracking your conversions, because you can update a conversion up to 90 days. So if a customer comes in, they spent X, okay, you've got notification of that passed back to Google Ads, but you could have a system going on in the back end of your website and your CRM system that you're using that identifies as that's a new or an existing customer, and then attach that extra piece of information to the conversion event so that when you go into your campaigns menu, when you go into your keywords menu of your account, when you go into the ads menu of your account, the device menu of your account, and so on and so forth, you could split rows so you can see exactly what it cost to get a conversion or sale for each ad, keyword, so on and so forth, but also what was the cost per new customer as well as the cost per existing customer. And then with that, you can understand, even though naturally what you should be able to pay for a customer overall, naturally, you should be already giving yourself more headroom to pay for a new customer than an existing customer. So on a keyword by keyword basis, you can see where I'm going with this. You'll be able to see, okay, well, these keywords here, they produce a customer at a much higher cost, but it produces mainly new customers. I'm willing to spend a little bit more to get on this keyword than I normally would otherwise, because it mainly produces new customers versus existing. So the reason why I bring this up is that in itself, that piece of it, that strategy, if you will, that I just gave you, is generally speaking more valuable than using the bid for new customers only option inside your account, because naturally, you know, you're not able to differentiate there very much, and it's not very specific or refined in terms of being able to actually optimize for new versus existing customers. So even if you upload your customer list that you have completely to Google and keep it updated, so every time you get a customer offline or through another channel, it's already given to Google and all that, and you turn on this feature, your account can mainly go for new customers, but you'll still get some, like I mentioned, you'll still get some, not only just new customers, but existing customers. And because you'll still get somewhat of a mix, it's not like a cut and dry thing where you only get new customers once you got this feature turned on. You'd be better off, or at the very least, would be much better off doing what I mentioned with the custom variables and attaching the new versus existing customer in with the conversion data that you get flowing into Google Ads. So you could turn this feature on that's supposed to be going for new customers, and then you can also back that up with data and say, okay, I actually got 90% new customers. Okay, of that, 100% of new customers came from this keyword, so I want to keep this keyword, versus this keyword, only 50% of new customers came from this keyword. Or, you know, of this keyword, of the customers that came in from this keyword, only 50% were new. So I may want to shut that keyword off, or, you know, I don't ever tell people to shut things off. It's just you demote what you're willing to bid for that particular keyword, because what you're trying to go for is new customers, and so you're willing to spend twice as much for this keyword over here that produces 90 to 100% new customers versus this keyword over here. So you still get some customers from the keyword that produces some new customers, from the keyword that produces some new customers, but not overpaying. And that's where the maximum profit you can get out of Google Ads is. Understanding the exact value of one keyword over another, so you can spend up to the minimum, the maximum threshold of where you're going to cross the line from profitability to unprofitability, and doing that on every keyword so that you get the maximum traffic you can from all your keywords and get the maximum profit you can from all your keywords. So, because obviously there's never really a situation where you would only want new customers, or very rarely, unless like you're in the Zumba space, you don't really want anybody who's an existing customer to click on your ad, okay? In that case, you could use this feature and just don't really worry about it too much, so to say. For all you guys who want mainly new customers, or still new customers and existing customers, you'd be better off using this feature and then adding the conversion data about whether that customer was new or versus existing, and then using that to make your secondary decisions, you know, on a keyword by keyword group level, by device level, and so on and so forth. And depending on how much you need new customers, like if you need, you know, at least 50% of new customers, then this feature I wouldn't really necessarily just go with this feature. I would just go with adding the supplementary custom variable data to your conversion data stream that's coming into your account, versus if you needed 80% new customers or 90% new customers, then I would use this feature, but then I would also supplement that with the conversion data that says whether the customer came in really was new versus existing, and then try to maybe shut off certain keywords that aren't producing new customers, or at the very least, it's producing a new 20% of that keyword is producing new customers, and so your cost per new customer for that keyword as a result of that is very, very high, and the overall cost per customer from that keyword is overall very high, meaning existing customer, you're also paying a lot just for an existing customer. So you may just demote that keyword in terms of what you're willing to pay for a click on that keyword a lot. So it's all relative, because you can pretty much through the math figure out what a new customer should be worth versus an existing customer. And you'll look on a keyword by keyword basis then and understand, should you be paying more or less for this keyword based upon its percentage weight of how many new customers it brings in versus existing customers that it brings in. And if you need a lot of new customers, you add this additional bid for new customers only feature to what you're doing to dial in your account to produce exactly what you want it to do. So watch my video about custom conversion variables if you have some questions about that. And also server-side tracking, where you can supplement once you identify in the back end a customer is new or existing, passing that information back to Google. This is all doable. And if you don't know how to do it, it's worth it to hire a conversion tracking firm or contact me at my firm, and we'll try to help you out with that. And get you in a position where you can do that if having new customers is very important to you, and or new customers are worth way more than an existing customer, and you want to be able to understand where you should be paying more, which keywords you should be paying more for, or which audiences you should be paying more for, because they're apt to produce mainly new customers for you. So you aren't weeding out, because ultimately what you'll find out is certain keywords that produce the cheapest cost per customer are also going to be producing mainly existing customers, because existing customers converted at a higher rate. So you're ultimately then not understanding, where certain keywords that are producing higher cost per customer that you should be still keeping and still going after, because they produce mainly new customers are at, because you don't have that data to rely on and actually know that which keywords are worth more, paying more than what you typically would pay for a conversion, because they produce mainly new customers for you or not. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you have any ad-related question, you can feel free to ask me. I'll try to use my 15 years of experience to put you on the right track with what you're doing, just as a thank you for watching the channel and helping the channel grow. If you are looking for the best source of information about how to run ads for your business and make millions of dollars a year doing it, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, as the information you're getting is coming straight from the source. I do 40 hours a week of ad strategy for the dozens of ad accounts that I personally am in charge of getting the results on across a bunch of different platforms. Everything that I'm learning, what works and what doesn't work, I give to you on a silver platter on this channel. That sounds like what you get on a lot of other channels, but I promise you, these people selling courses or whatnot, they aren't actually running the ads. They're pretending to, they don't. Or it's an agency owner who doesn't run ads themselves, or it's a guy that runs a couple campaigns, but he doesn't run several dozen at a time and just does the strategy, not all the busy work along with it, so that they don't just focus on figuring out exactly what works and what doesn't work, which is exactly what my job is. So you can't get more relevant information than what you're going to get on this channel coming from myself doing this as my full-time job. So you should subscribe, and you should subscribe now, because you're not going to find better information if you're serious about making money with ads. I also have a blog that I keep over at my site at guaranteeppc.com/blog, where you can find step-by-step information on specific strategies that we know that work basically every time it's applied, that you can follow with screenshots, with all of that. So if you like the channel, you're going to like my blog. It's even better than what we have on this channel as well. For most people will say that, at least. As a side, if you don't want to do all the heavy lifting of getting the results using the strategies we talk about on this channel, you can actually hire my firm to help you execute on all this stuff. And with that, we're a PPC firm that does not charge clients fees until we can get them a certain minimum results on their campaigns up front. That is, if we can't make you more profit than what you started with, that's in excess of what we charge as a fee at our agency, then we don't charge you a fee. We also, if we know we can't get it up front, tell you that we can help you up front. So therefore, you're getting accurate information right from the start from our agency, because we don't want to waste our time working on something where we can't really crush it for you and make you way more than what our fee costs, so that we know we got a long-term client. The only catch is we don't work obviously then with just any client that we don't know for sure we can get great results from and for. But if you want to see if we can work together, reach out to my firm at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to give you an estimate of how much sales results we could get for you in addition to what you have before we would need to take a fee. No other firm, by the way, does anything like that I'm suggesting in terms of guaranteed this or that or contingency services. It's all pay up front and, let's see what happens. And if we don't get results, too bad. So, and then with that, by the way, a lot of people still don't want to work with an ad agency. They're more hands-on themselves. I understand it. It's a different type of person. They want to do that. If we've worked in your niche market before, you should take us up on our campaign templates that we offer as well. That is, for instance, if you're a plumber, we've worked in years in the plumbing space. You can't get better results than what our plumbing campaigns already deliver. And because we spent years developing the campaigns and spent millions of dollars in ad spend to develop the results in that space, you could take the exact templates we use to get those results, copy and paste them into your account and get the same results with none of the work and paying a small one-time fee to get the same results that we got with our landing page templates, ad templates, and so forth. And we got e-commerce templates and stuff as well, so it's not just local services, but with that, if we worked in your niche market, and we've worked in over 100 different niche markets before, we can get you those results and without all the heavy lifting, hard work that we had to do to figure out what works in your niche market. You're skipping you're going completely around all that work. So, and with these, the templates that we sell, they're actually so good that we got people that start whole other businesses from them, frankly. We've had several people do this now. That is, if you wanted to get into e-commerce, you're not in a country that our current client is in, that the client's never going to be in your country operating there. You can take the template that sells millions of dollars of product in one country, apply it to the templates in your country with sell the same products, and it will work right out the gate. Or if you wanted to get into a business selling leads and start a lead selling business, which is a great passive income business, you could take one of our templates that generate leads at a rock bottom cost, sell those leads, and have a business in and itself, and it's basically assured to work. So if you're interested in any of those opportunities, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. But with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.